Okay, I'd like to thank CIFMer for giving us the opportunity to actually come and show you the work that we're doing within Cummins on energy sustainability. The worker will actually come up and tell you the energy champion process that we have developed within Cummins. But what I'd like to do is give you an overview of the journey that we've made and the reason why facilities is a big part of the actual journey. So if I step to Cummins, I think most people probably don't know who Cummins are. We're a large manufacturer of power solutions, not just diesel engines. We actually manufacture the diesel engines, all the components that actually go on the diesel engines, and then we convert them into power generation. So our major customers are people like Volvo, Scania, Iveco, Mercedes. We work with companies in China like Dongfeng and Tata in India. And we've got in the region of about, I think it said on this slide 55, it's wrong, it's about 65,000 employees worldwide, and we operate in about 193 countries. Our mission, Cummins are a very socially aware company, and this goes back to the founder of the company, Irwin Miller, who was a financial supporter of the civil rights movement in America. So if you look at our mission statement, the part that reflects really into the environmental sustainability is that we demand that everything that we do leads to a cleaner, healthier environment. It's strange, because somebody will say, well, hang on a moment, you've just told me you actually make diesel engines. Yes, we do, but what we try to do is make sure that they are as clean as possible, and we reduce the emissions from those engines, and we're also working on technologies that will make the diesel engine redundant. So, environmental awareness. We talk a lot in Cummins about our DNA. It's something that is driven into every employee. Every employee has to do a minimum of 4 hours community service around the world. And it's driven into what we call our DNA, that we have to be sustainable. So that's both in energy, water and waste. And our environmental strategy intertwined into our production strategies as well. So, why do we care? I think like everybody else who's sat here, we care about the planet. Just because we actually make diesel engines doesn't mean that we don't care about our planet. And everybody knows that with the reduction in resources that we've got, both in water and the minerals that are actually being depleted around the world, we have to make sure that the work that we do has a negative impact or a positive impact on the actual environment. Impact on our communities. I said earlier that it's a given that you have to do a minimum of 4 hours community service. But we want to make sure that wherever we manufacture our products, there isn't a negative impact on the actual community that we're manufacturing near. So we employ as many local people as possible, and we make sure that wherever we manufacture a site or manufacture a product, that we are negative in our environmental impact. So a good example would be, we have what we call a mega site, and it's 16 manufacturing sites in a part of India that has a real water shortage. So we make sure on that site that the whole of the manufacturing process has a negative or a water neutral connotation. So impact on our business. Yeah, I think like all business owners, we want to make a profit. So we need to make sure that whatever we do doesn't deplete those resources, helps the community, but also does it in a way that helps our shareholders, who actually at the end of the day, along with our customers, pay our wages, make sure that we're a growth business. So about 10 years ago, we started a process called ACES, which is the Action Committee for Environmental Sustainability. And as you see on this chart, there's 4 main areas to that, and Liam will step up later and actually tell you more about the facilities operation, because that's the side of the actual ACES committee that we're involved with. But it includes teams looking at our materials that we use when we manufacture our products. Is it sustainable, the actual, metals that we'll be using? Is it sustainable, all the materials that we use to produce our engines or the generators? Product in use, which is, again, the question that somebody will ask, whether you produce diesel engines and the emissions that they produce out on the roads can't be really that green. Cummins have spent over the last 10 years in the region of about $30 billion ensuring that the products that we actually put on highway meet all the legislation and the emissions that are requested predominantly by Europe, because Europe leads the way in emissions limitations. And I know it's difficult to say, VW, they managed to fudge their figures. We don't use that type of technology because we actually manufacture the emissions solutions equipment ourselves. We've spent that money and invested it to actually make better emission solutions, so exhaust systems and catalytic converters. And today, all our engines worldwide meet the European standard. So that's even in the US, where the engines don't have to meet the current European standards, or in China and India, all our engines meet the current European standard. Logistics, we ship a lot of product around the world, and to make that sustainable is often quite difficult. So we have teams that have looked at the efficiency of logistics, shipping parts around the world, and one of the philosophies that we introduced as a manufacturing strategy was to produce as close to the actual customer as possible. So we will tend to manufacture very high volumes, low proliferation product in China and India, and we may ship them the ones to a factory near the customer to actually customize, or we will customize very close to the actual customer. So we've cut down on the amount of transportation and obviously the fuel usage, the greenhouse gas production, and generally the unsustainability of shipping product around the world. Facilities and operations, we've got somewhere in the region of about 53 million square feet of manufacturing around the world. Our biggest sites are obviously in the US, North America, but we do have major manufacturing sites in Europe and South America. So the engine plants are usually about 800,000 square feet to about 1.5 million. So for us in the actual facilities team, this is a big investment and a big challenge for us to make sure that everything that we do within those facilities is sustainable. So you've got down here clear kind of targets for us of energy reduction. These are our objectives to 2020. I think currently we are at about 18%, and we firmly believe that we're capable of reaching by 2020 that 32% reduction. Water, direct intensity, the reduction of 33%. I think we're about nearly there, I think.
The water reduction target, and we're actually now looking at setting another one for the next few years. We've already achieved the 2020 target for water with all the work that we've done. So I think it just goes to show how kind of dedicated we are in terms of implementing environmental programs, running projects at the sites.
So as I said earlier, one of the sites that we've got in India is water neutral, and this came about, and then we spent a lot of time working on this project at the same time that Coca-Cola had a lot of trouble in India, where they put a manufacturing site very close to a local village, and the villagers were up in arms that Coca-Cola were using all their water. So we were very aware of that situation and went into building the mega site with the goal of making it water neutral. So increases in recycling to 95%. We've actually got some of our manufacturing sites that are 0% wastage. Everything goes to recycle. We don't send anything to landfill. And we've got a target to actually do this on 30 of our sites worldwide by 2020. Evolve the Cummins priorities. So these are some of our main targets. Reducing our carbon footprint. So this is on new products actually in our facilities worldwide, and moving more towards renewable energy. We are about to spend, I think it's 2017, we've got a budget of $20 million to spend on renewable energy. So Cummins are prepared to actually put money where their mouth is, and our greenhouse reduction budget is $60 million for next year. So Cummins are prepared to spend a lot of money to make sure that they make their business sustainable. Using fewer natural resources. Again, we have teams that are working very hard on this to make sure that we are sourcing from the right places and it's sustainable wherever we get our resources from. And then the partnership with people. We know we make engines, and we make good engines. What we don't do is make energy saving equipment. So it's very important for us to actually find companies or individuals to partner with to help us achieve those goals that we want to do. And a really good example of this partnership is we've just started in the UK a version of Energy Dragon's Den. So I think most of you have seen the actual programs where inventors come in and ask for money from people who have got money. What we started along with Cambridge University is a program where we want to find those new technologies, and we're prepared to help inventors or small businesses to start that process and give them the opportunity to use it in a manufacturing environment, and then they can actually use us as a good sponsor for other business. But for us, it allows us to get in that very early stage, help people and also help ourselves. So what I'll do is I'll now pass you over to Liam, and Liam will run through our Environmental Champion Programme.
Thank you. So as Richard mentioned already, we have several corporate objectives that are implemented across the world. We have high expectations of our sites to make an impact on their environment, their communities that they're involved in, and we also want to make a positive impact on the business. At the end of the day, we all want to make profit. We have several programs that support this. So we're dedicated to management systems, such as ISO 14001, ISO 50001, and in the US and Mexico, we're also implementing superior energy performance. And we've actually made a public commitment to certify 40 sites to ISO 50001 by 2020. So I think it shows we really value the management systems. It gives you the structure. We have an enterprise system, so we have standardized tools across all of our sites. So we can actually go across them, and people like myself will go and audit them, and we can help the sites improve their programs. We also use ACEs, as Richard mentioned, and we have a program called I'm Involved, which mainly revolves around those in offices. A lot of our consumption in terms of energy is obviously within the manufacturing and testing areas, but we also want to make a positive impact in the offices as well. What I'm going to talk to you about now is the Environmental Champion Programme. So this started out in about 2008 as the Energy Champion Programme, and it aims to teach our facilities, HSE leaders, and anybody else who has a passion for the environment how they can actually make an impact. We've now actually added waste and water management to this programme. We have trainers within each region across the world that we operate in who lead these sessions. And these are people that have been working within the industry for many years now, have a lot of experience, both at site level or corporate. We also try to bring in suppliers, and I think this is something that we can share with everybody. It's a really valuable program. It gives people at the different sites across the world the opportunity to network with one another. And also, it's a great way for us to communicate about our goals worldwide and start spreading the word at the different sites. So, what is an environmental champion? It doesn't have to be someone who's done an environmental engineering degree or energy management degree. It can be someone who genuinely has a passion for protecting the environment, reducing our impact, and who really cares about those issues. So we have people from facilities, health, safety, environment, maintenance, testing, manufacturing backgrounds, who've all been involved in this program. They're the person at each site that is expected to lead the program, apply for the capital that we have available, which is managed partly by us within the corporate facilities group. And then they also are a champion of change. A lot of people the last couple of days have spoken about networking and communicating with your stakeholders on site. So it's important to show people what benefits we can actually bring both to the business and the community and the environment. I'm sure some of you who work with sustainability have come up across barriers before in terms of getting finance for projects that are related to sustainability. We've achieved tremendous savings throughout our Environmental Champion program. And once we actually go to the sites and speak with their leadership teams and show them the impact that they can actually make in terms of savings, that tends to obviously drive more initiative as well. We have environmental leaders. So this would be those that would support the environmental champion. And when we run the regional sessions around the world, the environmental champions then go back to their site with prepared training materials that we provide for them and train a team of environmental leaders. So we're trying to increase the amount of people that are involved in this program. We also have a great knowledge and resource base. So there are many people around the world that can be used for support, whether that's running low and no cost programs. We have something called the Unplugged Challenge, which is essentially about making sure we turn equipment off when it's not in use. And it can be up to the huge investments in energy reduction. So the environmental team. Many of you out there in the audience probably have environmental teams at your sites and within your organisations. These are the people that need to be generating ideas about how we can actually make a positive impact on the environment. How can we reduce our energy consumption, our water consumption, and how can we work towards zero disposal? So making sure that nothing goes to landfill. This team of environmental leaders, as I said, supports the environmental champion, working within their area across each site, trying to promote environmental protection and management. The environmental leaders also lead the low and no cost projects. So we use a phrase, looking for the low hanging fruit. We try to find as much of that as we can and get those projects done straight away. It achieves quick wins for any business, and it promotes the program as a whole as well. We also conduct environmental audits. So as I said, we work towards ISO 14001, 50001, and superior energy performance. So within the enterprise system that we have, we audit each other's sites if we've implemented the standards and have been certified. This way we can visit more sites, learn from each other's experiences, share what we've done at our own sites. And I think it's really beneficial for people, like-minded people, to get together like we are here today to share what benefits they've found from doing this work. So our program revolves around the 9 themes of the environment. So the 7 energy ones that you see there are what we originally started off with. And then we've actually added waste and water management. These 2 are, again, split out within the training courses that we run. I was in Columbus, Indiana last week for an environmental champion training session. We had about 50 people from all over America, Central America and South America attending. It was just brilliant to be able to actually interact with everybody from each site, see what projects they have ongoing, share ideas between one another. And we actually share this material with the Department of Energy in the US. If you just Google the Energy Champion Program and Cummins and the DOE, you'll be able to find some of these materials online as well. And hopefully this clicker will work. So this final slide just shows you we are really proud of the work that we do to protect the environment. We've won several awards, the latest of which is right in the middle there, the Energy Management Leadership Award, which is through the Clean Energy Ministerial. And we won this back in June. We were one of 3 companies around the world that won this award. And this is for our work on ISO 50001 and SEP. The reason for that is due to our enterprise system, the standardized tools that we have, standardized processes, and the best practice sharing around the company. And like I said earlier, we have very aggressive goals to certify more sites. We would now like 40 sites to be certified by 2020. We're actually on target to achieve 21 sites being certified this year. So we're already making very good progress towards that. And that is all I have. So thank you.